All right, we are live. We are on the air. We want to welcome everyone. If you're in DS Domination, if you're in Options Domination, I'm really excited to have you guys here. We've got an awesome panel. It's like really excited. Some of the folks that were able to get on here last minute, actually, that we're just insanely excited to hear. So we're happy to be doing this. We're excited about doing this. You guys that are watching this at home, do me a quick favor, show your excitement, and go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, get the message out on Facebook because. We'll be going. They can hop on in here, watch it, take a look, see the direction we're going. If you're inactive in DS Domination, if you're someone who used to be part of DS and you're looking at this, you're going to be in for an amazing treat. Okay, if you're in DS Domination, if you're going to the event, you're going to be in for an amazing treat. If you're just joined yesterday and you're wondering what's going on with this crazy group of people in this hangout, and as we break down what's happening as we move forward with DS Domination, as we move into 2.0, as we move past the event, as we change all the training in the back office, as we just retool everything to help you guys out, just know you're in an awesome place. So I want to go ahead and I don't want to talk too much. Usually I tend to take a lot of time on these hangouts, and we have some awesome people that I really want to hear from. So do me that quick favor. Hit that like button, share it on Facebook, let them know you're live, let them know you're here, and we will get moving. And I want to first turn this over to my man, co-owner DS Domination, Mr. Hitesh Juneja. You got it, buddy. Go for it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I actually thought you were going to say my man, Jason Rose, and then I was like, okay.
Oh,
that would have been way better. But okay, so we did a hangout last week. As you know, I'm not a huge fan of just like doing hangouts for the sake of it, just because apparently these companies and the people in this industry, they run on constantly talking, because you have to constantly keep talking, otherwise it just kind of falls apart pretty quickly. Just to confirm, can you guys see my screen? Can you see the DSD2 logo and stuff like that? Because I'll be doing some screen share here soon, and I want to make sure everybody can follow along.
We can't see it quite yet.
Okay, let's try this. Are you able to see it now?
There we go.
Yes.
We got it, buddy.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go through this on a screen share here soon. That will hopefully be a lot more substantial, and it'll walk you guys through some of the things that we kind of hinted about last time. So what I want to actually go over tonight more than anything else is actually want to show what is exactly DSD2, what it will be doing, how that directly benefits you guys, and how this is actually going to entirely switch out the structure of DSD and how it's functioned so far and how it will be functioning in the future. Because one of the very sad realities is that when we first conceived this, the idea was, there was these insane ideas that we had of what we're going to make it, and we kind of ended up becoming one of the things that we didn't want to become, which was the only monetization method for affiliates in DS Domination and for the company in DS Domination was selling training on the stuff. Now, the great thing is that this e-commerce training and this e-commerce basic automation has done really well for our customers. I think we still maintain less than 30% of our user base is affiliates. Majority of our user base is actual customers who are using the training, who are using the system, and they're very successful. But we had always had this idea. The original concept behind DSD was to actually create a platform which integrated seamlessly across the world of e-commerce and would benefit our users, not just when they were being successful, but when they referred somebody who was being successful using e-commerce side of things, they would get paid on that as well. So we spent a lot of time scratching our heads trying to figure this thing out. Well, we didn't really scratch our heads. None of us have lice, I think. But we were just thinking about it, and we came to the conclusion that we need to use the volume that DSD has and the amazing users and the success that our users have had, that we need to use that and go and leverage some things out so we'll be able to provide this incredible system at virtually no cost to our members. And we're going to walk you guys through that tonight. We're going to show you how the numbers work and why this is probably going to change the landscape of everything here very soon. And there was this thought that I had, which is I guess I don't get very impressed with all the stories, because just the guys who are on this hangout right now, they could tell you these insane stories of the kind of success they're having. I'm not talking about I recruited 85 million people and made $90,000 or something. They could tell you success that they've had on the e-commerce side and so on. But it does kind of get boring because every single company has stories. And it's very hard for you to be able to look at them and tell which company is legitimately actually benefiting their users versus which company is just a series of stories. So we're going to walk you guys through this tonight, and we're going to do the same thing that we have said since the first webinar of DS Domination. Don't go by what we are saying. Don't go by the amazing success stories you're going to hear about tonight. Go by basic logical thought process and ask yourself, as we walk you through this thing, does this seem like something that could be really successful for you in your individual lives or people that you know in your individual lives? And just take it from there. Okay, and then you can choose to decide if you want to come to the event, if you want to use all the fancy stuff that's going to happen over there, if you want to be a part of DSD2 or not, whether or not you're still active in DS Domination right now. I think this should help you make a decision of what you want to do going forward. So I'm going to prepare my screen and all that stuff, and in the meantime, we're going to have a quick word of wisdom and advice and all those things from Jason Rose, because we missed him last time at the webinar, at the event. So just let's have Jason just talk about what he has seen happen and where he sees all of this heading. Just to let you guys know, those of you who are unfamiliar with Jason, he's the guy behind the scenes. He's the kind of the linchpin that holds the whole thing together. This guy has probably done more for DSD and for DSD members than majority of you realize. If you ever called in and you had an issue on billing side or something like that, then you know who he is. But by and large, this is the guy who actually made everything work. He kind of keeps me focused on things and keeps Kevin from making inappropriate jokes at calls like this. So Jason, take it away, and I'll be back with the screen share.
Oh God, Hithasia's killing me. Hello everyone, great to be on with you guys. Super excited. I just love seeing the panel we have here tonight and just knowing them all individually and having met them, and just knowing where DSD is really going. I would normally never wish time away, but honestly, I cannot wait till the event just for the unleashing of DSD 2.0. I couldn't emphasize enough for you guys to just get in there, attend it. If you're not going to be able to, surely Hitesh and Kevin will go through the benefits of actually getting a VIP ticket. To truly go behind the scenes, and Hitesh will obviously be showing you that here soon, what is to come with DSD 2.0, because really DSD has been amazing in what it's done with transforming lives, and as Hitesh said, look at the logic. I still like look at the testimonials also, because that just shows you what everyday people are doing with DSD. And what I like best about what DSD 2.0 is going to be is really for the average person, the person that has $100 to their name and is not ready to jump into Monopoly and Genesis and the higher programs, and they really need to just get in there and start making some money. And just Pro is going to do that alone with this new automated system. My son alone, when he was 13, being so busy with everything going on behind the scenes with DS Domination, I honestly, I kind of was probably let him down as a dad in a sense. I knew he was smart enough, and I knew the training should be able to get him through, and it did. He would get up, and like any of us, when we're motivated to make some money to purchase something, he would get up there and get watching the videos, do the listings. I'd have little issues here and there, but would start making a few $100 a month. And of course, if things were going good and he had all of his new set of headphones and so forth, he might kind of slack off, like all of us might at times. But I've told him what's to come, and he is just so super excited, just because, once again, I'm not ready to start letting him outsource stuff from China and so forth. Just at his age and that, but I really want him to still ramp up his eBay, and just with what's to come, he will be able to do that, and on a large scale, because really that's what it comes down to. You can watch all these training videos and be given stuff to do, but in the end, when you really want to make a good income, you got to have things automated, and that now is what DSD 2.0 is, and it's just transforming what DSD was even before. I mean, it was a good system before, but no, it's what it needs to be to help the masses, and just to have a good income for people to get going. And of course, that's the stepping stone. It's just to get people in there, let them see the success that they get for the 20 bucks a month, and then they're sold. Then they can start making that income and moving on up. And the testimonials, we get letters, so I get the, you'd think everyone's stuck with the internet, right, and emails and stuff, the testimonials we see on Facebook and so forth. We actually get letters, and I don't get to share those necessarily all the time with Hitesh and Kevin, but it's neat. We have people that write us in letters and just thank us and tell us their stories of how life transforming it's been. And so it's just super exciting for me to kind of sit back and just see it all unfolding all the time, and just see the work that everyone here puts into it, just to bring success for everyone. And that's the most exciting thing I think about this event as well, is not just the automation, but now just to have 9, 10, 11 of the top people out there that are generating income today using eBay, Amazon, outsourcing, and so forth. And it's just amazing, because things change all the time. And if you're telling people stuff that happened a year ago, you're outdated. Your listing's not up there. You're gonna get your account shut down and so forth. And I'm just so excited that the team that we've got put together now it's just great when you have the best of the best. And you really should never sell something unless you truly know you got the best of the best. And that's really how I feel with the team we have now. And once again, it's always been a blast with Kevin and Hitesh, and just the work effort that they do and put out every day, every minute. And now just to grow our team and just to put DSD on top of the world. So it's super exciting. So I better stop there, or someone's going to cut me off soon. So once again, just great to be on this call tonight, and super excited for everyone and just their success that will continue and grow.
Beautiful. Such beautiful words by a beautiful man.
I'm trying to stay quiet on this though, Hitesh, because I really, it's not often we get Jason out on these hangouts.
Yeah.
He's so busy all the time.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. I love having Jason on these, and it's so true. We don't get to see the letters. I'd love to see some of those. If you can send them over to me, that'd be great. But I mean,
yeah. So Jason, there's actually there's this thing called phones, and they have cameras now. You can take pictures of the letters, and they become digital. Did you know that?
But that was the point. It's not digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you take a picture of it. Okay. So first off, we're about to walk you guys through something, which is obviously some of the automation aspects of DSD2. But what we can't show you immediately is obviously the amazing, tremendous changes that are happening on the training side of things. Because they're very hard to, we can't quantify it. Everybody in the world does the same thing. They all say, oh, we have the best training in the world, or blah, blah, blah. And us included, we have said that for a while, until, we would look at the customer feedback. We would look at people saying, there's this stuff that wasn't covered, or this stuff that I would have wished was covered, and so on. And that was one of the things that we did with DSD2. The whole community aspect is us going to the users who are being very successful in these spaces and saying, okay, what would you like to see happen? So a lot of what you see on the automation side, yeah, it might be that I built some of it and all that good stuff, but the guys that you need to thank for all of this are the other people on this panel right now, because these are the people who come to us and say, here's what would be really cool that we know will make it very successful for our users, that would make it very good, and our failure rates would be much lower, and people would just in general have a lot better time making listings and being profitable, is this. So I'm going to walk you guys through some of that, and then you can all critique, and some of the stuff is kind of new to everybody. But let's go. Okay, so here's the new DSD 2.0. Here's how it begins. We'll ignore the training aspect, like I said. We just walk through the basic pro side of the training. Now, keep in mind, I'm showing you guys screenshots of our actual back office. I can't show you the actual back office because all of you will then try to get on that URL, and it will cause all sorts of problems. So I'm going to walk you guys through exactly what happens. We're going to go ahead. We're going to put in a keyword or any kind of, we select a category of what we want to source an item from. Okay. Now, as I go along with this, if you guys have any questions or at any point you think this looks pretty cool or it would be useful for you, please make an FB comment below this page, lower on this page. Just make a comment and say, this is cool. You're also allowed to say things such as hashtag mind blown or hashtag DSD2 is awesome or so on and so forth. Use your imagination, use the title builder if you have to, but just something to the effect that we would be able to tell that you guys are actually excited, okay? So here's what I did. I basically put in the word crossbow because everybody knows that I love crossbows. And what it did is basically pulled up a bunch of products that we could sell profitably. And we can use some advanced filtration in here. Some of this you have seen before. It's a little similar to what we already had. But you will see this new thing over here called edit listing, because now you want to create a listing. So let's say this first item here, I want to list this on eBay and sell. Now, earlier, you would have gone to Amazon, you would have tried to figure out the title, you would have copy-pasted stuff over, then you would have made some additions to it, you would have tried to figure out a shipping and returns policy, so on and so forth, right? Here's what happens this time. You click on Edit Listing, and this thing pops up, okay? This is live screenshot of what actually happens in the back office. Immediately, the title right here is going to show you what keywords you should be focusing on, what are the best, most popular keywords for this particular item. So I created a title here using these words over here. The other thing you get to figure out from these hints is you can tell right here, okay, so a crossbow that has a scope that comes with a back package of bolts with it and has a 150-pound weight on it is probably going to be in demand. So we can actually go back and we can see that there's actually another one right here which does fit that criteria. 150 pounds, has a scope and so on. So we would actually be able to expand out of there. Now, instead of spending my time copy pasting from Amazon and then reformatting and documenting and doing all those little changes, I'm going to select which kind of a shipping and return policy I want to use. We have 4 different styles for it. So you have the minimal style, which is very good for cheap products. You don't want to waste people's time. Then you have the balance, which is the one that I have loaded in here, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Or I can choose a detailed shipping and return policy, which is very detailed and highly recommended for large items or very expensive items, like a patio set or something. And then you have a minimal balance, which is like a good balance amongst all of them. So what I did is I selected balanced, and you will notice that it automatically populates all the details of the product. It replaces some of the words, so it's not exact copy from more advanced options for spinning this as well. You'll see the shipping policies, exchange and return policies are added in here automatically as well, so you guys don't have to spend any time on that. And then you can, to add some more unique content, you can pull some Q&A. What are actual users saying about this product? You can pull up to 4 questions and answers from Amazon into the listing automatically. So you will see those down here, some questions asked by our buyers, and these questions are showing here. Highly recommend that you actually rephrase these questions so they're not exactly the same as what they're asking, but have the same question. For example, you could replace this first question with, is this suitable for small game hunting? And the answer would be yes. And then below that, you see over here a little density calculation system, which you might have already heard about. If you don't know about that, it's covered in the training, in the new training especially, that explains how to rank better and how to use the proper keyword density metrics. So in this case, I typed in crossbow, and it told me instantly that I have a 1.44% keyword density for the word crossbow in this thing. Now, if I want to rank for the phrase pistol crossbow, I would put pistol crossbow in here. It would immediately tell me if I need to increase my density, or I might be looking very spammy, I might lower my density. It's not the biggest metric in the world. It's not the most important thing in the world, but it does matter in your listings, especially when you're trying to make sure you get the best results possible. So at this point, you have the content in place, you have all the stuff in place. We will also be giving some options for additional templating, but we don't recommend them right out the gate because it increases the HTML amount and things like that. But essentially, this takes care of your listing creation aspect pretty much entirely. Now, you're going to copy paste this just like you do. You'll copy paste everything over to eBay, and you're going to click on Next. And when you click on Next, you'll come to our repricing protocol definition. Over here, you will just put the listing ID from your eBay. So far, we are still on Pro. And you'll define your profit goal. You're going to say, I want to make 12% profit on this particular item. You will put the URL from Amazon for this item, and you'll define if you have any cash back that you make on this. And that's it. You're going to hit Next. Hey, guys, one of you is unmuted. Can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. And that's that. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now what you do though is if you are in Elite, for example, this gets a little bit more fun because if you're in Elite, you're not limited to Amazon. You have multiple other sources and you have all this other fancy cashback stuff that you can do. So if you were in Elite instead, what you would see is this with the ability to add up to 5 different sources. So what you would do is you would define all the different sources, all the different places where this product is available, and our system will check all of them for the prices, including cashback. So let's say, for example, that you had another location where you could buy this product from. So we call that source 2 here, whatever it is. And let's say you get a 3% cashback at that particular location. Let's say the price of the product here on Amazon is $50, and the price on this other store is $51. Our system is going to reprice it based on this to keep you safe. But when it comes time to sell, let's say somebody actually buys this on eBay, at that moment, our system is going to look at this and go, even though it's actually cheaper at Amazon, you, including your cashback, make more money from the second source, so it'll actually suggest to you that you should fulfill it using the second store. But, great, that's fine. But let's say you just want to use Amazon for fulfillment, and that's what we know happens in 70 to 80% of the cases. And that's what happens for all of our pro users anyway. So here's where the next stuff kicks in and it becomes really insane, which is when you have supremacy activated. And here's what it would do. The second this order comes in, it will immediately, this is when you have supremacy activated, and we'll explain why that will be very critical down the road. The second the order comes in, here's what happens. Supremacy looks at the order, goes to Amazon, places the order in your account. I can't show you this one part live because obviously, I currently have our test accounts in there and we can't show them to the world. But this places the order in your Amazon account, marks the item as shipped in eBay, and on receiving tracking information, tracking info from Amazon, it gets placed in your eBay account. So essentially, your net work required, the actual work that you're going to put in here, is typing a word, clicking a button, copy pasting that to eBay, and just letting the whole thing make you money. That's honestly what it does in terms of the automation side. Okay. Now you have all the training on top of this that walks you through this if you want to do it manually. But here's something interesting that happens. As you can imagine, there is APIs involved, there are costs involved, servers involved in all of this thing. So one of our concern was, how do we make sure that we can actually provide this at a reasonable cost to our members? So we came up with a solution. The solution is very straightforward, that instead of charging people hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars up front, which is what any company or any service that tries to do this, we came up with a very simple solution. We said, okay, for every order that we price and reprice and manage for you and place the order on your behalf on Amazon, we will take 1.5% of the sales price. Okay, so 1.5% fee per successful sale. Now, because of the system itself, it's going to make sure that you're always profitable, right? So that 1.5% fee is already calculated in there, so you should be fine. But the obvious question for all of us was, okay, but isn't this a little bit more cost for the user? How do we make this happen in a way that we can even take this away from them? And there is a solution we came up with. The solution is actually, we got on phone with Amazon Corporate, we talked with them, we had a discussion with a couple other locations, and what we were able to work out is a 2% discount on all gift cards across the board. And we were able to get an API integration to make that automated. So here's what would happen now. You sold something on eBay, the order gets placed at Amazon, but before it places the order on Amazon, it actually buys a gift card for you at Amazon. Let's say the order was $100. Let's say the product is $100 at Amazon. You will not pay $100. You would pay $98 for the gift card, and you have an automatic 2% permanent cashback kind of built in, permanent discount already built in. So you will actually make that back pretty quickly because our system will give that to you. Now, there's another layer on this. The 98 that our system will bill you, you can put any credit card in place that gives you some cash back on it. For example, if you have a PayPal card, you will get a 1% cash back on that. There's many other cards that can get 2% or more. So you place the order, you basically put your credit card information into DS Domination. DS Domination gives you a 1% to 2% cashback when we bill you, because that's what your card gives you, plus you get 2% discount on the order itself. So now instead of us charging you for the sale, you are actually making more money by letting us automate the whole thing. So it kind of flipped everything around. At one point, we were like, yeah, but would people want to pay for the automation? And instead it becomes, well, would people want to get paid more money for the automation to work for them? And that's kind of the place that we are at now. It's very, very interesting. It's pretty awesome seeing it work. We're running it on multiple test accounts already inside, and it's looking beautiful. But okay, that's all great and all, but how do we make this even better? Well, here's how we made it even better. So because of our scale, and as we do bigger and bigger numbers, obviously our total costs will also be kind of managed. So what we did is that this 1.5% per successful sale, out of this, we actually give 0.6% to the referring affiliate and 0.3% to the second-tier affiliate. Here's what that means. That means that if you referred somebody who is doing $50,000 a month in sales, okay, in sales, not in net profit, but doing $50,000 a month in sales, which is actually not as rare as you might think. In fact, people doing $10,000 a month in sales is extremely common in DSD right now. If somebody was doing $10,000 a month in sales, you would be getting an extra $60 a month from that because you referred somebody who is actually running a successful e-commerce business, regardless of if they referred somebody else or not. So this was the one thing that always kind of, I don't know, just grated against me, which was we are telling people go be successful with e-commerce, but then we almost are like, by the way, then you kind of switch gears and become an affiliate and recruit and then tell those people how to recruit. And just, I don't like that because that doesn't jive with what we are trying to do here. So what happens now is if you are an affiliate, first of all, you generate greater income by making sure your downlines are successful. Okay, so people who like to just run advertising campaigns and leave their downline high and dry, not going to happen anymore because you're losing money. Second thing, if you are a person who needs more help, your sponsor is now actually getting paid to give you that help as well. Okay, so it kind of now there are a lot of people in DSD right now who have been providing a lot of help to their downlines, and their reward is the same, right? Every affiliate makes the same amount of money regardless of who is actually putting in the effort to compassionately make sure their downline is successful. This changes that because the people who are spending more time with their downline and giving extra, as majority of our affiliates have done, they'll actually be making a lot more money as well. So the entire eBay ecosystem of our members who are buying and selling and managing this whole thing, this basically takes it to the next level and monetizes everything. And all of this is not a fantasy. This is not like, one day we'll have this. This is already done. This is already running. This has already been managed. We've already tested it. Like I said, the stuff that you're actually seeing on the screen, all except the automated ordering part, is actually from our new back office. So it is very exciting to see this happen. Now, it does go up to a few other levels and becomes more exciting. So another thing we were able to do is now that there will be this new revenue stream kind of coming into all our affiliates and so on, we are trying to make this more affordable for everyone. So when you go through the new elite training, for example, you will recognize just how insane that is. I mean, I can't use the word guarantee, but I'm very confident that anybody who goes through the elite training that is coming out now, actually largely thanks to Nathan and Dion, who will talk a little bit about it, you will be extremely successful with it. You will definitely make a whole lot more. I would think like on average, and Nathan and Dion, you can kind of give me a rough number, but you should be doing something in the neighborhood of $20,000 to $30,000 a month in sales very, very easily if you're at elite level. So we want to incentivize people moving from pro to get elite and supremacy. So one of the new things that we will also be doing is releasing what's called an instant domination package, which will basically be a single subscription that already includes all of the pro material in it, that already includes all the repricing protocols and everything else in it, and that comes with all of the elite stuff and comes with supremacy in it. So that whole combination is going to be cheaper than what it would be if you were buying all of them separately. And we have a very special surprise at the event in relation to this, where if you actually have an event ticket, even if you don't come to the event, if you just get the event ticket, you will actually be able to take that price of the ticket off of that package. So just all around, our whole aim is make you way more successful, make you way more money, make it entirely automated, and just make it work beautifully for everybody involved. So I'm going to kind of pause here before we go into more stuff, because this is obviously not all of it. This is, I think, a great leap forward for mankind, but it is not the end of it all, or the DSD kind, I guess. But I'm going to have Nathan and Dion talk a little bit about their thoughts on this, as well as what's coming in Elite, and then maybe get a little bit of a reaction from everybody else. We are going to address some questions about this as well. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the international market, because that's been one, I wouldn't call it weakness necessarily, but that's been one of the things that has lagged behind in DSD. And I'll explain why that has been the case and why that will no longer be the case here in a minute. So Nathan, Dion, if you want to unmute yourself, you're just talking right now. We can see your lips moving, but none of us are lip readers.
Yes, almost sleep talking. It's actually about 2:30 a.m. here in Barcelona, Spain, but the beautiful thing about this business, and especially what Hitesh is, really drawing out, is the automation. And by all means, it's the leverage that has allowed us to be able to actually travel the world and experience different cultures and really be able to make an income. And as I wanted to go off on a tangent for one moment, just kidding. But as Jason Rose, is stating, talking about getting all of these letters in, and it's amazing to see how many people are so grateful for DSD and what it's done for them. It's equally amazing for me to be traveling and be able to get Facebook messages in, emails, and be tagged in other individuals' posts about the success they're having, and just to know that every day I get to feel grateful because there's so many other people out there all around the world that are benefiting by what DSD, the community, has done in whole. But to more or less address what Hitesh was talking about, it's always exciting to see a genius at work and to see what's flourishing about. And my goodness, taking it back about 5 years when I first started hearing about dropshipping, started learning, I never would have expected it to get to this point. If I was there to just sit down at a computer, be able to have, if I just had to put in all the work myself, copy, paste, answer customer service, and do it all myself, which is what I basically had done, I was happy. As long as it was able to transition me out of working for somebody else, with not having to have a job, and to take it to an extent where not only have I had great success, but be able to pay it forward to the individual, the e-commerce legend now sitting next to me, Nathan Van Tile, and to see him take it, way above and beyond what I've done is really, really exciting. And Nathan, I know yourself, you've really been able to take it from literally starting with what most people do is the 100-item, $5,000 selling limit, and now he's far into the millions. And it's, again, for someone like himself, and I can let him explain his theory, his side of things, but just that leap, those quantum leaps, and he's been able to do it by leveraging himself. So to see all of the automation coming into place, it just recreates that excitement from when I got started many years ago, or not so many, just 4 or 5 years ago. Started learning the drop shipping, and I'm excited that everybody is shortly here, very soon, going to see all of this unfold, and especially at the event. I mean, I'm already getting insights to what's going on at the event, and it's hard for me to contain all the excitement. Even though it's 2:30 a.m. and I should be sleeping here, but just the excitement. But yeah, Nathan. I want to turn it over to him for a bit because, again, for me to have done what I've done, and I'm so grateful every day to have an individual like himself be able to go, okay, you've done this, that's great, but let me up the bar, and not just by 1 level, but perhaps by 4 or 5 or 10 levels.
Well, it definitely comes down to mentorship and collaborating with like-minded people that are always pushing the bar forward. And yeah, it's just amazing seeing what everyone has done with their businesses right now and where it's going to be in the next short coming months. It's kind of mind-boggling. It has me just still, I got to see Hitesh's presentations a couple times and to let it sink in and fully understand everything. But wow, it's just pretty amazing. And one thing that I'm definitely excited about is going to have to be, the event. There's going to be a lot of information dropped that hasn't been really talked about. A lot of things that I believe were kind of gaps in the whole training. So it's going to be pretty awesome to see in the next few months after the event how people's businesses have grown.
Absolutely. And for those of you that don't know, Nathan's exceeded 100,000 a month in sales, and actually 150,000, which is a new record.
While we're on this trip.
Yeah, while we've been traveling the world, Nathan's exceeded 150,000 in a 30-day period in sales, in eBay, drop shipping, and the exciting thing is, I know personally, I mean, just the ideas that are thrown across, on top of what's coming about, Nathan himself practicing what is being taught, he literally is generating the income and being able to do all this from the DSD dropshipping methods, and it's exciting because I know where he's at now, but his goals, the ones that he's after, I mean, it would surprise some people, but all I can say is the number he's at right now will double, and I'd like to say that within the next handful of months, maybe 6 months at most, but I know he's more optimistic about that.
Yeah.
One thing at the event, I'm really excited about is, Nathan and I will be doing a training, but for once, I'm actually opening up my eBay account, and I'm going to be showing my specific listings, showing examples, profitable, really profitable examples.
Very profitable examples.
Yes, and it's just really exciting because, it's been one thing to give back, learn, be able to do what was taught, make an income, but then pay it forward and then see that multiply, see the results multiply, and then of course we have this amazing community, and you just see it, just the word keeps spreading. But to bring it back to what Hitesh has been saying, it's just really, really exciting that what we've done thus far. Literally, if we came to the DSD event and we really didn't have any new announcements, new trainings, which obviously wouldn't be done, because Hitesh really doesn't want to have an event ever unless there is real tangible, exciting, result-driven information that's going to be provided. But again, without any new information, there's so many people that are still having amazing success on an ongoing basis. We see the success stories continually flowing in, but again, what we're about to see, without trying to sound hypey, without trying to sound overly excited about it, is truly that.
It's kind of hard to.
Exciting.
Not to.
It's exciting, and I can't wait for everybody to be able to actually see it live and share in that excitement. So look forward to seeing you all at the event in Dallas.
You guys, the training, just everyone who's watching this, one of our best trainings that we ever had was when you guys came on and did some training for our elite members. And here's kind of the deal, though. In a lot of ways, you guys have really surpassed everything that has been put inside of DS up until this point. You guys have blown past it with your numbers. You've blown past it with your insights, with your training, with your experience, and you guys bringing that back into DS and doing all the training inside of the elite and going up on stage and coming out on webinars is just we're excited to have you come do that stuff, because we know the things you guys are doing. So pretty awesome. It's just
well, Eve, I actually want to take it a little bit step further. One of the things that needs to be recognized is some of the best aspects of DSD right now, some of the best trainings in DSD right now, these guys are actually the source of it. I mean, in the background, they were the ones doing the research and letting us know, here's what's going on, and then a video gets made on it and put out there. But these are the guys who are actually doing it, because these are guys in the trenches doing all these crazy numbers, and they're so unassuming about it. I got to hang out with them for a few months because I was in California, right where they live, and it's awesome because almost every conversation we'd have, there'd be some new thing, some new number change, and we'd have this discussion about, oh, if we did this, it could be even better. But this right here is a classic example of what I'm talking about. You all know the basic economic theory is whatever you incentivize financially, you will get more of. Now, what we want is a lot more Nathans and Dions, right? So Dion and Nathan are good friends. So Dion is willing to spend all this time and mentor him and so on. But think of it from a different perspective too. Dion is also the affiliate. Now in the new system, if all this automation is running beautifully, then Dion will be earning an extra $1,000 or so every month just from Nathan being successful. And yes, so they can have some agreement between them that he has to give some back or whatever. But it's the idea is now I think we will begin to see a lot more of similar level of effort put in by people towards their downlines because they haven't. In many cases, people haven't because in their head they're like, I remember there was this post, one big affiliate, they said, I can't give you all this customer support for making $10 a month for somebody who's referred. And it sounds in some ways bad, but you have to understand the scale of numbers. As the numbers start adding up, somebody in their downline who has 6,000 people can't actually provide that kind of support. It's just impossible for them. But now they can actually say, I will hire people if I have to provide the support, because if I can get 10 Nathans in my downline, I'm set. That's really what I want, right? So that's the whole idea behind this and where we are going with this. We'll get you guys some more thoughts here from other users. Matt has been doing great numbers. Kenya and Alessandro have done great numbers. But I want to address the international side of things a little bit first. Because, like I said, one of the markets in DSD that has kind of lagged behind a little bit, and just so you guys can see, this was actually going to be already covered. That's one of my main questions. So one of the things that lagged behind a little bit has been the international side of things. So first of all, everything that I just showed you guys, including automated ordering, this automated ordering system is going to function for Amazon.co.uk. We recognize that is actually a very significant chunk of our user base. So it is going to work right out the gate for Amazon.co.uk. I actually do have 4 test accounts working with that right now. Kenya is drinking to that because she gets all these concerns from people as well. But yes, so it's going to work right out the gate for co.uk. But what about all the other users who are, let's say, in other parts of the world? They're in Russia, or they're in India, or they're in wherever, right? Wherever in the world, they're in Spain and so on. They kind of get stuck because, as we all know, the biggest marketplaces are eBay and Amazon's .com versions. And the way they are told right now to work this is spend about 3 months just kind of building your account up over time. And while there are some ways to speed that up, it's not the ideal mechanism, right? It's just not the ideal thing. That's one of the reasons why DSD's growth has kind of lagged on that side a little bit. So I'm going to walk you guys through this really insane idea. We discussed this with Nathan and Dion. The idea came about when I was talking with Kevin. All credit to Kevin. If he wasn't talking to me, this idea would have never happened. I think he was talking about salad pizza or something at the time. So it just kind of made it happen. So what we decided to do is we're going to have an API-based system that allows international users to come into DS Domination and list on existing eBay.com accounts. But it's going to be done using our API. So they're not going to have access to these accounts, so they can't go in and accidentally mess something up. They're not logging in from overseas IPs, and that causes problems with eBay. What they would do is exactly what you just saw. They would click on edit listing, but then instead of copy pasting it into an eBay account, they would actually click a button to insert the listing automatically into one of our pre-existing accounts at eBay, which have very high limits and things like that. Now, that account is that basically a sale is going to be generated. Whenever a sale is going to be generated, the same thing happens. The repricing kicks in, and it makes sure the product is profitable. The sale gets made. The item gets shipped out automatically. And all of those things happen basically on autopilot in the background. But there are 2 key things that need to be managed, right? First of all, how does this user now get paid? So what would happen is, because they're doing this with an API, we track every international user and what listings they put up, and whenever that listing had a sale, what was the profit generated on that, and they will actually get a percentage of that profit sent to them immediately. It's actually getting added to their DSD back office. Okay, so they will actually be able to come in here, day one start working on this, day one start generating an income, just like anybody else. The second issue was, well, what about customer support? Because that is the one area that they still need to manage. How will they manage customer support? And that's where Nathan, once again, becomes a very useful entity in this entire system. As you can imagine, the numbers he's doing are almost impossible to keep up with manually. So he actually has a whole team that he trained. And months back, we had a discussion about we actually have an office in India as well. We have some trained staff there. Nathan has his own staff in the US as well. So we're actually going to have a supervising customer support team that's going to provide training to our international members specifically on how to address every possible issue that comes up. We're going to have the training available in 2 different languages as well, Spanish, and that's why we have our wonderful Spanish team on the panel as well. But this would be the one major way that all international people will be able to get in, and they'll be able to, they will be able to kickstart their business on eBay right out the gate, while they build up their own personal profiles at the same time. So they're not just sitting there for weeks and sometimes months wondering what's going to happen. Now, keep in mind that what this means basically is that they're going to come in here, they're going to use the entire infrastructure that's built here, receive a percentage of the profit being generated, but when they go out and refer somebody else, that other person again uses the same infrastructure, but is now also receiving an income on the sales being generated in addition to that, because the affiliate side receiving an income from this. So imagine this kind of a loop, which it's not a closed loop system, because we have all of the source is actually coming from eBay sales and true e-commerce, right? That's the actual source of the income over here. But this whole loop is functioning at all times in perpetuity. And for many people who are in other places, in overseas especially, they have a very difficult time because they're looking for something like data entry or stuff like that. And this is as close as you get to data entry that is actually legitimate. So this will open up a whole new world for DSD members and DSD side of things to start building up. And the idea being that you just get the instant domination side of things. You have Supremacy, Elite, Pro in there already. It's all functioning. It's all, it's basically good to go. You're done. That's your business in the box. You can run with it and go crazy. Then, when you're ready to graduate from that, one other thing that we really worked on is right now, the way DSD is structured, it's you either have eBay or you have Amazon to sell on. And they both can be very restrictive at times. So there is a significant amount of effort that has been spent, and once again, you need to really, really thank these guys. When you meet them at the event, Nathan and Dion are tremendously wonderful resources, but they've actually spent a lot of time working on the third source, making it a beautiful training that will actually get real results for our members, where you will be able to start selling on another platform. And that's going to be a part of Unleashed. But you'll be able to start selling on another platform. You'll be very successful doing that based on all the new stuff that's in there. We at one point in time tried it, and it was a flop because the way it was being trained on, the way it was actually being used was not appropriate. It was kind of this information dump, but it wasn't real live. Let's do this together and walk you through this. So you kind of get to see over their shoulder now exactly how to leverage this one other sales platform and do very well with that. So what happens now for international users is not only do you have a way to generate income immediately at the pro level, but if you're willing to, you can go to Unleashed without going all the way to Monopoly and Genesis, which then gets very in-depth. But you can just go to Unleashed and you have another platform that you can sell on. You have a whole other thing that you can start doing, and you're not restricted and handcuffed like you have been in the past. So this, to us, indicates we will see a very strong growth happen on the international side. And also, this will generate a very strong income for our company as well, so that we can keep running all of these things, we can keep growing all of these things. So far, one of the things that I've never liked is that our companies internally, and yeah, maybe a Hangout is not the best place to talk about it, but every MLM in the world, their primary income source is people buying stuff that they put out, right? And we have functioned like that, but that's not what we wanted to be, and that's not what we are going to be going forward. We're going to be a platform. So eBay is not a company that makes money by selling you something. They're a platform that connects two different sides of things, and they generate fees on that. Amazon is the same way, so on and so forth. Almost every major company in the world, Google and so on, they're all platforms. And they're platforms that allow mass usage, and they generate a very, very insignificant amount of income per user, but because of their nature and because of the volume that they have, they end up being very successful. So we're actually going in that direction. I keep saying that direction. That's what we are. Okay, going forward, DSD 2.0 is that. That is what we are. We are the platform that our primary aim is to see very, very successful users, because that's where we are going to be as a company, generating our primary income as well. So all these guys that you see on this panel right now, They're all in here. They're all being compensated. They're all people that we have said, we have seen your exceptional results. We want you in here. We want you to provide the training. We want you to work with us. Come to us with ideas on, it'll be crazy if you could build this, because I have these people in Belize who can't do this, or I have people in Mexico who can't do this very well. What can we build for them? And that's what we are doing. So hopefully this kind of gives some hope to all our international members. And this also should let you guys know why, as a company, even 2 years later, and with the somewhat hidden inflation, we have been able to keep very low prices while we continue to keep very low costs. And I almost let it slip, but there is one other aspect of all of this that's going to be announced at the event. So everything that you just saw is kind of a prelude to the one upcoming major announcement that's going to happen at the event, which will add at least 3 other income sources to our affiliates and our users. So we'll announce that at the event. We'll kind of reserve that. I think the only people on this call right now who are aware of it are Kevin, Nathan, and Dion. Jason was too busy for me to tell him about it. But that's kind of where we are. That's the state of the things. We're gonna keep addressing more questions. So you guys, please post any more questions that you have, and we will address all of your questions as well, and cover them. All of this will be covered. So everything that you saw with the automated ordering, this was a question that came in, the automated ordering system, the gift carding system, all of this stuff will be included in the new Supremacy. Supremacy is going to go up a little bit in price, but it's going to all be a part of Supremacy. It will continue doing the follow-up with all the eBay buyers as well. There's going to be slightly higher intelligence available in that aspect of things too. But this is all just going to be a part of it. One of the other feedbacks that we often got from people was, you guys just have so many products. You know, we just there are just so many subscriptions to keep up with and so on. So that's one of the big other reasons why we're pushing, and we're going to kind of compress all of this down to make this a very straightforward system to be a part of. And we are also going to be able to offer very, very tremendously strong discounts because of this. So just in general, from a very logical perspective, ignoring that you're going to meet all these wonderful people there, okay, let's imagine it was an empty convention hall and you were just going to sit there and watch, I don't know, Inception for 2 hours. It is still worth getting your tickets, because those tickets are actually going to become equivalent discounts on your products when you purchase these products. Okay, so make sure you do that. Make sure you're in place for that. Make sure all of that is set up. Okay, I'm not going to spend any time trying to sell you guys on it. I think it should be very obvious whether you should have that or not at this point. But that's my thing. Please post more questions. We will address every single question that comes in. And we're going to now switch over. Kevin, if you want to take over and direct the questions and feedback to all of our wonderful panelists, that would be great.
Yep, I'm going through some of the questions right now. People are mostly excited. They're just kind of flipping out. I mean, what's kind of cool, Hitesh, is you know, I was on a hangout maybe 2 weeks ago with the UK group that we have inside of DS, and a lot of the stuff that we're going over right now is what they were looking for. And we'll be having another discussion with them, with the UK group. But it's really cool to see that that a lot of the stuff that I told them, look, we're working all this, we got all this stuff covered for you guys, as far as, you know, those of you who are overseas, because there's unique challenges that they have, and we get to overcome that, you know, with a lot of the software. But I've got a question. Let's see. The prices on Pro and Elite membership, a bunch of people are asking, they're seeing this stuff, and they're asking, are the prices going up for Pro and...
Numbers. I just said the whole idea behind this is you're going to actually keep not just same costs, your costs will actually be lower, because even though the only cost that will go up is Supremacy, because it does an entirely new function, right? But we will actually make it so that if you are at Pro and Elite and Supremacy together, it's actually cheaper for you, okay? So it's the opposite. We are not going, this is not a way to get you guys to repurchase things, which I know that's what companies supposedly do. Every 2 to 3 years, companies come up with the exact same thing and they put a new sticker on it and they resell it to their membership, which I think is horrifyingly bad because you're hurting the people who you should be helping. Now, what we're going to do is, first of all, not only make these available at a cheaper price in a way, we're going to show you guys how that's going to work at the event, but at the same time, all of Genesis, all of Monopoly, all of Unleashed, all of Elite, all of everything has been completely redone. The trainings you're going to receive in there are at 10 times better, at least, than what we provided before, because now we have them all happening live. We have them all showing over the shoulder. Here is what you're going to do step by step. And they're all going to include extra resources as well. If you currently own Genesis, you will be upgraded to G2, which is the new version of Genesis, at no cost. If you currently own Monopoly, DSD2 is going to have M2, which is a new version of Monopoly. It's going to be given to you at no cost. When you upgrade to Unleash, that's U2. No disrespect to Bono, but you will get that at no cost as well. So the idea being that all in all, you guys are not being asked to spend more stuff. This is not a sales presentation that, look, guys, we're going to get you to give us more money. This is a presentation saying, hey, we found a way with our volume and with everything else to become a platform that actually makes you more money in a more automated way at lower costs. Is that exciting or what? Would you like to come and hang out with the people who have made this possible? And that's the people that you're seeing on this panel, and a few others who are not at the in this panel right now. But look at Nathan so pridefully raising his hand like, yes, me, I am one of the people who has made this happen. And he has. Okay, so honestly, like these are the people that you really want to meet. Kevin, Jason, and I are just like the facilitators. We kind of allow these things to happen. And these are some of the brains behind the scenes. Okay. Will the automated system also track inventory was a question, and I'm sorry if I didn't mention it. Yes, it'll manage your price as well as the stock, and that's the reason why you want to have multiple sources. So let's say you have an item that is available at Amazon and Walmart, and the item runs out of stock at Amazon, it'll automatically switch to your next available source. And this is actually going to be, this is one of the good things, this is actually more critical for people who are in Monopoly or people who are selling on Amazon and so on, because you know that Amazon is much stricter about things like that, about running out of stock and such. So yes, that is already included in here as well. I'm sorry if I didn't mention it, but there are a lot of things to mention about a lot of things right now. So that's already covered. And there was one other question, if I can. How will we avoid duplicate listings with the system pulling the same information from Amazon? Okay, so the way it works right now is that you go and you copy paste stuff from Amazon over to eBay. It doesn't solve the problem of duplicate whatsoever. You might have noticed when I was showing you guys this, actually I'll open this back up, you might have noticed that some phrases were already changed. Like this didn't say quick description, it said the basics. This didn't say product description, it said the details. The shipping policies and the exchange and return policy, that changes based on the template you use. The Q&A over here, I specifically said you should probably rewrite that. But one thing that we are working on that we haven't made live yet is going to be a spinning capability that's going to be made available here, where you'll be able to spin certain words in here to avoid duplicate content. Some of the users, and Jesse isn't on here, but Jesse has been doing very close to six figures a month in sales as well on eBay. And I went through this with him, and he had mentioned, you know, the way he would like to see it happen. So we're actually working on a way that will make this even more unique, the way it's generating these listings. So you don't have to worry too much about that. For one, that currently exists. That particular issue currently exists, and we just tell you, we just edit these phrases a little bit, edit these lines a little bit, and you can do that all in here already. You can edit anything that you see in here before you paste it over to eBay. But our aim is to actually make it a little bit more automated, so you will be actually able to put some spinning configurations in place, and it'll spin some of these words for you and some of the content for you. I still personally suggest that you should just rewrite certain aspects of it, because when you rewrite certain things, it only takes you an extra 30 seconds to a minute. Okay? It's not like you're going to be spending 10 hours on this. It's only going to take you an extra minute or so, and it can make your results a whole lot better. So, for example, I would replace this statement with, my mom has a rabbit infestation in her backyard. I would just change that to, is this suitable for small game hunting, such as in cases of a rabbit infestation? And the answer would be, yeah, this is a humane method that you could consider using. How hard is it to load? Do you need to be really strong? You could rephrase that to, is this really difficult to reload? I just want to make sure because I don't think I'm really strong. Is this going to be suitable for a young adult or something like that? And you could answer, and you could replace the answer with, you can actually do it one-handed if you're pretty strong, but with two hands it's fairly easy. It's only 80 pounds of force. That's it. You've only spent maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and this is stuff that's taught to you in training as well. But by and large, we are trying to make sure that you are spending maybe 2 to 5 minutes at most per listing. There was one other aspect I forgot to mention, is this little thing right here, this little fun thing. Going forward, eBay is going to be making UPC codes kind of a requirement. Okay, so you're going to need UPC codes when you're making these listings. Now, obviously, we don't expect you to go and register the product and generate a natural legitimate UPC out of that and use that. So we actually have a backend system built in that in the background, if you are a Supremacy member, you'll be able to click on Get UPC, and it'll actually automatically find a UPC code for you to use, and it'll populate it over here, and you can copy paste that over to eBay. If you do that right now, it's actually already a good thing to do, because this has been said very specifically by eBay. This will help you rank your listings better. So if you're not currently, start using UPC codes in the listings, and with DSD 2.0, obviously you will be using them, since it'll be so easy. You can just click this button, and you will have a UPC code. You can click this button and get some Q&A for unique content, and it'll randomize these questions as well. So it's not going to be using the same Q&A every single time. It picks them at random, so it's not overlapping every time. You can change what shipping policy you're using. You can make some tweaks in there. You can use these keywords over here to help you make changes within the description or make changes in the title. Again, all of this is covered in the training. All of this is very, very easy to do. This is not complex whatsoever. You're just going to click the button on the stuff that you want to sell. It'll give you everything that you need to know. And actually, when you click next, it also shows you your ideal price point. What is the minimum price point you need to be profitable on this, including all the costs. We'll also be covering something for sales tax in the training, and so on. So honestly, we have taken everything that we could find that was potentially wrong or not as good as it could be in the first version. We have put everything in here. We have made sure that all of those bases are covered, including a level of support where you will be able to ask questions, get answers. We'll have many more Hangouts and webinars over the week. So if you have questions or you want to have more interaction with somebody, you can get on them. And they'll be very content driven. So instead of being the same thing happening almost weekly or bi-weekly, we're going to have very unique content driven sessions where we have a specialist just for FBA. We have a specialist for monopoly style of stuff. We have a specialist for selling on eBay. We have a specialist for sourcing from different locations, or we have a specialist for cashback. And that's basically the way it's going to run in those aspects. Those are the things that we can talk about, but we can't show you, right? Because there's nothing to show. This is stuff that I can show you and say, look, here is one thing that tangibly makes a difference to your business, that makes it faster, that makes it easier, that makes it more automated, that makes you more money if you're an affiliate, that makes you more money if you're a user, gives you more discounts, and blah, blah, blah. So that's basically the idea behind what we are doing. More questions. And you know what? Why don't we have some of the thoughts from Kenya and Matt and Alessandro, and maybe Aaron can throw some ideas in here. I'm sure he's excited about this whole thing with the money for the affiliates and stuff like that.
He's grabbing a bunch of questions. Kenya, can you come out and I just want to get your insight and your thoughts on this stuff. I mean, you've been seeing this kind of since day one on a lot of this stuff. What are your thoughts? How is this going to help the average person build their business, in your view?
Wow. Well, first, I mean, we've been talking about what was going to go in pro, but seeing Hitesh go through it all right now at once, I'm thinking, this is $20? Like, that's insanity. The value that we're going to get for $20 on top of the, current updating and making sure everything's current, this is going to speed up your listing time. It's going to increase your sales. There is no competition out there with 2.0. There's just not at any level, in any way. So, and you guys would be blown away if you saw some of the conversations that happen with us behind the scenes, the things we're trying to figure out and bring, and constantly looking to the future. This is not going to be stagnant or stale ever. We're just going to keep going and pursuing excellence for this company. So we're very excited. I'm thrilled with where Pro is going, and all the levels, and also Supremacy is it has a completely new face, and it's pretty incredible. Very excited.
Awesome, awesome. I see Matt. He was in another Skype chat going crazy here about 10 minutes ago when he was watching all this. Matt, what are you thinking? What are you thinking about all this stuff for the average?
Hey, Kevin, can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. We got you.
All right, awesome. Well, so I don't know, what was it? Maybe a week ago that it was 4 in the morning or so, and I was up placing orders. Now, you know, in fairness, I was a little lazy that day, so it's not always 4 in the morning. But Hitesh messaged me, and he said, "Are you still up?" And so, yeah, of course I'm still up. And he Skyped me, and he said, "Well, you know, we're gonna automate all of this." And I said, "What? I don't have to stay up till 4 in the morning and do orders anymore?" And he said, "Nope." So definitely looking forward to that, because you know I mainly am a user of the product, right? I don't do some affiliate, but not a whole lot. And you know, I'm looking forward to being able to save at least a couple hours a day, being able to do, or not having to do orders. And one thing that I've always told people, you know, they say, "How many listings do you have?" And I say, "Well, a couple hundred." And they say, "Well, why don't you put up more?" I say, "Well, I'm always placing orders. You know, I don't have time." And now moving forward, I should be able to multiply that a ton and go from, you know, $100,000 plus in sales a month to God knows how much. So definitely looking forward to that, being able to expand a lot more than I've been able to recently, and not have to do even a tenth of the work. So definitely appreciate it, Hitesh, and let's keep blowing it up.
You are very welcome.
Can I piggyback on what Matt said real quick? With
Horseback
the
is fine.
Sorry? Are you making fun of me again?
No.
Kenya, I got on Hitesh last time. I got on Hitesh last time after the webinar for not getting on people enough. So, yeah.
Well, it's just that you said if I can piggyback on off of Matt, and I was like, wouldn't have you said horse riding or something like that? Just a little bit more respectable than piggy riding. It's just anyway, just forget
it. Well, just with all the automation that's coming, I've had a couple of people approach me and say, "Okay, if this is going to be all automated, isn't that going to do our users a disservice if they ever needed to do it without the software?" And I said, "No, absolutely not. It's not one or the other. DSD is not going to not teach you how to do it manually. You're still going to learn that, but you're also going to have a way that is just going to make it so much easier and faster for you. But we're going to make sure that you are very well-rounded and prepared in your training with e-commerce."
And just before I head off of here, just got a sale, $22 profit, so not bad. Thanks again, Hitesh.
No, well, that's awesome. And I don't know. I mean, I think everybody on this panel right now is probably generating income as we are doing this, which is the insane part, which is the very exciting part about all of this.
I mean, I've used this line before, but it's kind of fun to be able to pretty much go do whatever I want now and know that Amazon's going to at least pay for it when I get back. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You see
it is a very interesting thing. Yeah, Nathan, were you just showing your phone? Yeah, there you go. They just got a sale. They're showing their phone.
Yep.
It's crazy. I honestly think a wonderful experiment would be to actually get all the DSD members in a room and just have everybody turn up the volume on their phone and just count the number of cha-chings you get over the day. It'd be crazy, just because I know the numbers that, I can see in the back office what numbers people do, and through LI and so on. It's very, very exciting. And again, what Kenya said is very, very relevant and very true. The software is a tool, and yes, as a platform, we are designed to do all of the stuff, but you would not know what to do without the training aspect to begin with, right? So you have to have the knowledge, and then you move on to using the tool. So that's why we will provide both, and we are going to continue providing both, and in a much more integrated fashion than we have been able to in the past. So it's going to be a lot more interesting going forward than just what you've seen so far. So the stock and prices will be managed for you guys. The ordering will be managed for you on Amazon. both UK and US versions. We have other sources that we already have been working on, and we will be releasing them one at a time. And then every single time we release them, we will actually try and work out some kind of a special discount and things like that for you guys. That's just what we do. So if you guys, okay, now I do want to address one thing. So we are not going to be doing any price raises for you guys right now. If you are an existing member, you will not have to pay anything else. I want to make this super clear because I know everybody's going to ask this. But as we release all this, I mean, you can imagine we're releasing these insane things. And as we go forward, we will be raising the price on certain aspects and certain pieces of this in the future. So for those of you who are going, should I get it right now instead of later? My advice, okay, this is my purely personal advice. First of all, if you don't have the money, it's going to be a stretch for you to buy it right now. Don't push it. You don't need to push it because you will still have some time to get them at similar prices as right now, or the same price as right now. However, if you are just hanging out and you're like, should I get it right now or not? Yes, you should. You should actually get it right now. You should go through the training right now, so you're very familiar with all of this. So when we are launching and maybe release all of this stuff, you are actually focusing on generating profits, not learning the system all over again. So if you have the funds for it and
Did we just lose the chat?
Yeah, we lost Hitesh.
All right.
Yeah, we don't hear him anymore.
We'll give Hitesh a minute to come back on. I finish that thought. But
I'm back. Sorry, just bad internet. But it's fine. You guys continue.
Well, if you're done with that, or if you want to, I kind of want to move on to one thing real quick and clarify this 100% in everyone's mind. So the event, going to the event, getting your ticket even if you're not going to the event. Let's say I'm the person who, I can't get there. I can't get to the event, but I want to get a ticket. What is the absolute benefit for me doing that? Can we talk about that? Kind of map that out?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about absolute benefits of the ticket. First of all, when you get the ticket, our aim is always to make the actual event or the ticket itself or things like that, our aim is to make those free for you. Okay, one sec. There's a background noise. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but okay. So first of all, our aim is to make that entirely free for you guys. So I'm gonna go to one of my infamous things over here. So what do you get with the ticket? So the first thing that you get is the actual cost of the ticket is a discount on the products that will be released. So, for example, when we release this Instant Domination pack, now here is the interesting thing about this Instant Domination thing. It's not a new product. We're not telling you keep your Pro and Elite and Supremacy and go buy this new product. It replaces, if you already have Pro and Elite and Supremacy, or you have Pro and Elite, you would simply combine everything into one subscription. Keeps it a lot easier for you to manage, right? Because it's just one bill every month. And on top of that, you get access to all of it at a lower cost. Okay, so you are going to use it. I mean, we already know that vast majority of you are going to get it anyway because you already are paying for it. We're just telling you you can pay less for it and you can combine them into one. So we know that a lot of you are going to do that anyway. So this is not like last year when we were releasing something that was going to be focused on FBA with Genesis, and it was a question of will you buy it or not. This is a point where we already know that vast majority of our users are already spending money on this. We are basically giving you that money back in the form of a discount. Okay, so the ticket price is actually discounted on the products that will be released, which is the Instant Domination pack. You can get that money back when you buy that. We'll have 2 subscriptions for it, and on one subscription you're going to save every month, and on the other subscription you're going to actually get a huge one-off discount, and you're going to get a one-off discount off your ticket price as well. So you'll be able to get that. On top of that, you get recording of all the content taught at the event, which there will be a whole lot of. So some of the things that we're just talking about right now, in part because we can't reveal too much about it, we will actually be making all of that stuff live, available to you guys in form of a recording. You can go and watch the recording in your DSD back office whenever you would like. which I think is very critical, because even if you come to the event, there might be stuff that you miss out on, or there might be stuff that you're like, I really want to hear this again, what was really taught, so I can revisit it. So recording of all the content that will be taught at the event will be placed in your back office. Again, this will not be no cost. This will not have no cost to you guys. Somebody who did not buy the ticket will have to pay for the recording of the content. Okay, so this becomes free for you as well. And they don't get a discount, right? So if somebody actually did not buy the ticket and they just buy the recording of the event, they're not going to get the ticket discount that we're offering you guys. Okay, and that's just because it's kind of a loyalty thing, right? You guys have been so loyal to us. You've stuck by us. We've gone through tremendous changes and done everything we could to make ourselves stronger every single week of the past 2 years, and we want to reward you for that. So when you buy the ticket, we basically give it back to you. You get the recording of all the content, plus you get special bonus content that will only be for the event ticket buyers, which will be in form of, first of all, if you're an affiliate for VIP members, you will be getting this. We'll give you digital content if you don't come to the event. If you do come to the event, you'll actually get the USB drive, which will contain some pretty cool things in there, including for the options side of house, it'll include the indicator that actually generates our 15-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute signals. I'll actually walk you guys through how to use that. I'll show you data on that. We have about 50-some thousand trades with a 71% average win rate. You can imagine that's kind of crazy. I want to show you that, and you guys will have access to it. That will be the only time it'll ever be given out to anyone. The second thing you're going to get is actually the templates and the Kickstart guide for all of the stuff that you're going to see coming out in Market Extreme, that you're going to see with Trent Weidman, with Josh Jacobs, with Sean Agnew, with all these people who have been doing really well on DSD. Plus there's content. There's some fun stuff that we recorded last time. Dion and I actually did this recording of postcarding and some of the other things about building a funnel and such. And we'll have some stuff like that. There'll be more content we'll give out. And you will also get, and this is, well, there are two things that I can't announce because if they are special bonuses for the event attendees only. So if you're actually an attendee, and you have to understand there has to be a distinction. Somebody who buys a ticket is already getting, all of this amazing stuff. But somebody who is actually attending the event, which means they're going through the effort of taking the time, and they're getting the plane tickets, they're coming to the hotel. When you guys are actually coming there, for those of you who are actually going to attend, there are two, I'm trying to think of a good word, but I just can't think of super special, which sounds very lame actually, but two really good things, which sounds worse, but there'll be two really good things that will be available only to attendees. One of them is kind of a first mover's advantage. So obviously if you're an attendee over there, then you will be the only ones able to move on that. And then the second one is basically going to be something that we're going to make available just to our attendees for a time period, and then we'll open it up to others. This is actually, these two things are special surprises that we haven't mentioned to anybody, including actually the leaders on this panel right now. So if we are able to put that out at the event, I think that would be kind of mind-blowing, and people will go a little bit crazy about it. And that's what we'll be putting out. So all in all, in my opinion, regardless of whether if you're all about the energy of the event and meeting these people and shaking Dion's hand and saying hi to Nathan and taking a picture with people and all that stuff, whether or not you want to do that, because I don't know if I like doing that. In my opinion, the very basic logical choice here is to get the ticket, because it's basically us telling you, we want to give you free stuff, we just want commitment from you. So you get the ticket that shows the commitment, we give you the money back in the form of a discount on the Instant Domination pack when we release it at the event, and so on, okay? But that, I think, kind of summarizes it. All the other content is just bonus stuff on top of it.
Yep. I want to throw something in here, Tesh, for the options domination side of the house. We were working on some funnels the other night, guys, for options domination side that are really cool. And I got to bounce some ideas back off with Hitesh on what we're doing, what I'm doing with some of the funnels that I have. And I want to push those out to the folks who are at the event or have tickets. If you're an OD, I want to get those in your hands, these sales pages that I'm using. And what's really cool is, most of the time, I go out there and I put out a sales funnel, I test it, the all that stuff. And it's very difficult for me to get like really good feedback on something because me and Hitesh were talking about this, because a lot of times people see it and they're like, wow, this is amazing, this is great. And what's fun is I get to bounce some of the stuff off of Hitesh, and he doesn't come back with this is great, this is amazing. He comes back with what I'm really looking for, which is constructive criticism. So we get to kind of, you know, work through and perfect.
Or not constructive. I like giving it.
Yeah, sometimes it's not very constructive, but I pretend it is. No, so we get to bounce this stuff off each other, and I'm really looking forward to rolling that out. And I want to do that for the folks who come to the event for that page. So I'm going to toss that on that thumb drive as well, Hitesh.
Beautiful. Yeah, that thumb drive is going to be quite something. It'll be very unique. Yeah, I want that thumb drive too. Okay, so we have all of this good stuff obviously happening and all the good stuff coming. Now there's some obvious questions to be asked. What is our aim through all of this? Right? Is the aim to just be the best MLM company? Is the aim to just be this new platform that makes all this magical money? And it isn't. One of the things that some of the leaders on here are privy to, and in fact some of the founders might have known way back when we were about to launch DS Domination in, I think this was in July of 2013, we had this one webinar, and we kind of laid out that DSD was supposed to be the first baby step in a very, very significant overall grand scheme of things. And you know, the next step was actually going to be this e-commerce actually being a platform, and then we had the option side of house, and then we had true investment management, and so on and so forth. We had all these steps that we had already outlined. This is what we're going to do, and we're going somewhere with that. So at the event, you're going to see that play out a little bit more because you'll see us taking these steps. But this is not something where we look at ourselves in the future and say, oh, you know, we hit our goal. We're making 100,000 a month or 300,000 a month or whatever the aim is, and we're done. We're happy, and this is all we needed. That this is not a system for us that we developed with the idea that, oh, this is going to make money for me and I'm not going to be broke anymore. In fact, like I mentioned earlier, Jason has had a very successful business. Kevin has had a very successful marketing business. I've had a very successful business. We all took significant sacrifices to make this happen because we are going somewhere with this, and all of you are welcome along for the ride. You've noticed that what we try to do every step of the way is that when we release the next step, we kind of grandfather everybody into it, and we say, you have been with us since the beginning. Here is the next step that we are taking. Welcome to it. You know, you're coming along with us, and you don't, you know, not like everybody else. You get some benefits for being with us. And that's basically where we're going as well. We're going to lay out a little bit more of this at the event. This is by no means the end. It's not like us saying, oh, DSD2 is coming and great way for you to generate more money. It's actually, this is our next step. This should let you guys know, for those of you who understand, that we are very much not just alive and kicking, we're actually going places. We're actually going to the whole next level where we would have been, unfortunately, if not for very significant personal issues that we've all had in our lives. So that's kind of where we're going with this. Some of you who might be wondering, you know, why are these guys even doing a DSD 2.0? Why is there even a need for this stuff? Because our users were already successful. This is why, because this is not our aim. We are not satisfied with this. We are going somewhere far beyond, I guess. That's all the sophistry and philosophy junk you're going to get out of me. Any more than that, I'm like, why are we even talking about this?
Yeah.
But that hopefully addresses that question. There was a question about that.
Well, it's always, you know, I mean, it's always about taking it to the next level. And what's the next level look like? The next level looks like you know, our membership base being in a position where they're not necessarily paying more into the system, but they're just getting more out of it. They're getting more profit from different areas out of everything we do, you know. So you look at DS Domination, you look at all the automation that's going into it. It makes your life a lot easier moving forward. And oh, by the way, you get profits and you get discounts from, you know, just built into the system. You know, so $1 that's out there in the e-commerce world, you're going to make even more profit off of that. You're just making more profit all around as you start getting into those cards and those incentives that just wasn't money there before. We're just pulling money out of thin air to make sure it gets in your pocket and make sure it gets in your sponsors pocket so that they encourage you to do the things that make you the most money, which is the e-commerce world. And we recently did a really, and this is obviously for the DS side of the house, but we recently did a poll to see how people were doing in the e-commerce world, and it's ridiculous what our members are doing as far as numbers wise. It's amazing. It's staggering when I look at the results that have come through. We've got about 1,000 of them, and it's amazing, you know. And it's all that money that they're moving across the world. Let's get more of that money to come down into their pocket without them having to spend more to do it, and that's always the goal. So on the DSD side, on the options domination side, that's always the goal: get you more money, and keep your costs as low as possible. You know who
I'd really like to get some of Aaron's thoughts on.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. We haven't heard from Aaron on this, and I really like to bring him out and let him.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm fielding all the questions from the Facebook comments under the video. A lot of excited people out there, including me. What I gather here going forward here is we have a big community base, which are all going to be contributing to the success of Kevin. You got to mute out there. Which are going to contribute to the success of DS Domination as a whole. On the affiliate side, a lot more money in our pockets as affiliates. In addition to helping the field, the field's going to get. We're going to get money from giving more value to the field in the format of automation. And you know, I'm going sort of almost last here, so it's kind of difficult because everyone else has said everything that I wanted to say and more. We have the Deons and the Nathans and the Sean Agnews and the Matts and the Jessies and quite a few more that are all going to be the specialists here, giving their feedback and giving into the training and constantly keeping this current and cutting on the edge of what's working right now, which is critical with you guys that are out there in the e-commerce world, because if you don't have what's working now, you're broken, and that's going to affect your profit. So, I mean, all of this stuff, I'm going to say it again, and everyone here has mentioned it without any hype and without any BS, is get to the event if you absolutely possibly can, because this is the time where you're going to get to meet all these people, and I can assure you that things are going to be, nuggets are going to be given out there with Dion in the hallway and Nathan in the hallway. I've seen it. It's happened to me, and I've seen it before. So, yeah, get there. All these people have stuff to give. Everybody's pretty much giving freely. I mean, they're just unload on you pretty much and give you all they got. So, I mean, that's all that I have. As far as also on the options domination side, I've also been privy to the conversations with all these funnels and stuff, and Kevin's actually run some of the stuff by us, and we've given him some, as Hitesh would call it, unconstructive comments and feedback. And that, you know, that's always good, because on the affiliate side, we also need to be kept cutting edge, because if you're not, you're also broken. And when you're building a business on the affiliate side, if you don't keep current, the other guys are keeping current, and you're behind the 8 ball. So, I mean, what more is there, Kev? Hitesh? I mean, what more?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there is more, because we haven't yet talked about the options domination side of the house much.
Before we get into that, real quick, Hitesh, I want to bring Ophi out. She hasn't said anything, so I want to.
I like the little karate chop that you do when you want me to stop talking, like you like chopping me to the throat, like stop talking.
That's the universal wave for be quiet. So, Ophi, how we doing? What do you think of all this?
Hi, Kevin. Hi, everybody. Thank you. Well, I mean, just by hearing everything here and seeing what Hitesh is explaining and everything, I'm just blown away, you know, with all the information and all this stuff that is going to help our people, like especially people living outside USA, you know. It's always easier when we live here, when we live in the US, but a lot of people, as you can see, are joining now from outside, you know, especially Spanish people and all of that, because they are seeing the potential this platform has, you know, DS Domination. It's huge. It's not just eBay or Amazon. I mean, they're seeing that everything it's it's coming together, and it's a possibility for them to really, I mean, make money online with e-commerce, from wherever you are around the world. I mean, nothing can stop you now. The only person who can stop you is you. So this is like, oh my gosh, I'm just thinking, about people, Spanish people. They're gonna be like, what? I mean, they're very excited right now with what we have, with what you've created. I just can imagine their faces and seeing, like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. This is gonna really happen, because there's some people, like, for example, they start with nothing, with barely the $20, to start, but they're very excited. They see the possibility. They see that we've made it. That a lot of people is making money, and people who had never ever sold before in Amazon or eBay or whatever. Me, for example, I didn't have any idea about selling on eBay, or that I could even, sell something, or even or Amazon, and I learned. So I know there's a lot of people like that, that this is easy. This is not like difficult. And a lot of people come to us saying, I've invested a lot of money, I've lost a lot of money, in other stuff, and they're afraid. But then when they see, like, you can start off with $20, and then, build up from that, and see that you can actually make money out of those $20 to, keep upgrading, that's just amazing. And with all of this, all the pluses that you guys are adding to it, it's even easier. It's much, much easier for them. A lot of answers are being, I mean, a lot of questions are being answered with all the pluses that you're adding to it. And I mean, I'm just so excited. I'm blown away, and this is really, really gonna help a lot of people, and that's what really gets me excited the most.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I do have one complaint, because she said she was blown away, but we can see that she's still there. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God, Tash, you're hilarious. I can't wait to meet you at the event, for real.
Well, you'll have to wait. There's no choice. The event is at the end of May. So. All right. Well, let us see. Are there any other thoughts? I was hoping that Jason would say something, but he's just quiet.
I'm just
Takes a lot to
listening to you
impress him.
guys. I'm just listening.
Yep, listening and drumming on the
Learning.
table, looking intensely into the space, wondering why we are so boring to you.
And keeping children suppressed.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, so shall we talk a tiny little bit about the options domination side of the house a little bit?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so whole lot of time spent building a lot of things in the background, testing a lot of things in the background. Just concluded testing on 2 more traders for live sessions, since that is by far the thing that people have loved the most. So that's what we're gonna be putting out here very, very quickly. And then at the event, obviously, when you get that little thumb drive, there'll be a session about that, things like that. But the direction that we are going, and we are comfortable at least talking about this part, is we are currently in the process of getting a fully SEC certified, everything else, all the good stuff. You can imagine all of that stuff for the thing that everybody has been asking for, that I can kind of show you guys a little bit about. Let me show you guys this 1 second. I'm gonna have to change my screen quick. And here we go. Okay, so We essentially have, like I mentioned before, we have a bunch of different trading teams and things like that that are working with us. We have the infrastructure that we have set up to make it happen in a way that everybody will be able to participate. Uh, because usually there are very severe restrictions on the type of stuff that we want to be able to do, because there are restrictions, on average you need minimum like $150,000 to get started or something crazy like that. You need to have an infrastructure set up to have companies overseas and blah, blah, blah. This is the kind of stuff that Jason handles like in his sleep that he's just so good at. And people don't recognize, because it's crazy the kind of stuff that you have to do in the background to make this happen and make this a reality. So why would we expend this kind of effort? Why are we working on this? Why are we actually putting all of this money? I mean, we've put a tremendous amount into 7 figures amount of money ourselves into setting up these profiles, running some tests, and doing all that good stuff. And I would like to show you guys a couple of the results from a couple teams that we have finally vetted, that we're ready to go. You can actually see this a little bit. These are all from vetted third-party sources. As you can see, this is one of them. Their account with this is an account that actually uses only intraday settings. It only trades Euro and GBP against the USD. Uses news items only, and as you can see, this is a real account. Its last update was actually earlier this morning. A very insane return. I'm not saying that that's the kind of return that we are aiming for everybody's going to get, and a very, very strong history. This is something that we have a history of over 2.5 years of tracking on. This is one of our teams. So the fact that we've been able to make some significant steps in the direction of making this available, one of my hopes and dreams, and to make this so fluid, is really to get all of this DST2 stuff finished up, because in the DST2 back office, we would be able to actually beam our results from this stuff, from the option side, say, hey, you just generated all this money in DST. This is a good place where you should consider putting it. A long time ago, this is actually one of the things that PayPal was really helped by. A long time ago, PayPal used to offer similar things. You would have balance in your account. You could earn returns on that balance if you work with their program and things like that. And that's actually kind of the hope that we have as well, of trying to develop a platform that goes across both the things, completely synchronizes both of those things. We have some very, very wonderful negotiations and deals right now that we're working on that I think will be very impressive to majority of the people. You can see this little thing right here, 93.3% win rate. This is not binary options, by the way, guys. So don't look at this and go, I want the 93% win rate in binary. Well, this is not binary options. This is real trading. There is no market cap on this trading. The market cap is about $19 trillion. So there's a lot more freedom on this trading as well. So when we look at this kind of stuff, it's very exciting for us because we actually feel like we are on the verge of being able to bring it out. Whether or not we will have it ready at the event, I do not know, because this is not stuff that, it's not up to me to develop something. It is something that goes through the legal and regulation process and builds up from there. So everything in the option side has to happen in the background so much more. On DST, one of the fun things is that we get to talk about, oh, look, there are these new things that we're putting out, new updates that we're coming out with. But on the option side of house, everything has to happen in the background, in the shadows of the underbelly of Washington and whatnot, where all the laws are made. And then once all the regulation stuff is done, that's when we're able to say, look, guys, in the meantime, this is what happened. So you'll have to take my word for some of this, that there are things happening that have me a little bit more excited than all of the stuff that's happening on DST side, because of what we are seeing, because of what our conversations are. And not just the conversation, but because the actual development that we are seeing and the corporations that we have set up and the overseas things that have now fallen into place that we were working very hard on for a while. And so we're kind of excited about all of that. If you sense like silence sometimes about it, it's not really silence. It's that so much needs to be done. We can't just go and blab about things on options because it's the financial world and so on. There's a whole other set of regulations that are involved there. So there's that, and then the testing has completed on 2 traders. We're going to be bringing out at least one more live trading session is going to be made live very soon at a different time, so more people can get in on that. And just I'm very, very excited. It's very hard because this is like the stuff that Nathan and Dion were saying. It's like there's stuff that and you want to talk about because it's really exciting for you, but you can't. because of various reasons. So I am hopeful that when we have the event, I will have a very solid thing to announce regarding this. It's not related to things I mentioned before. Everything I mentioned is going to be announced at the event. It's unrelated to these things, but hopefully we'll have this out and we'll be able to offer this in a way that will be very unique and has not ever successfully been pulled off, because nobody has ever pulled it off in a legal way and with a background engine that actually is successful. So we'll be able to put that out hopefully here very soon. And it's kind of exciting.
And that's where I can chime in, because I can actually say something there as far as that where Hitesh won't. Hitesh is super excited. I'm super excited. Everyone else will be as soon as basically it all is unveiled to you what Hitesh has created and has been working on. We work with the top MLM and securities attorneys in the world, or in the U.S. I should say, and they are even blown away with the strategies and the means at which Hitesh is working to have this work on a mass level for our members. And it truly, so that just gives me goosebumps itself when you're talking with the top of the top and they're getting you in contact with other people that are specialists in this industry with securities, and they're just like, wow, yes, no, this would be great. No one's done this. Yeah, let me do some research. Okay, send us a big chunk retainer. We're going to get digging into this. So there's no doubt about it. There are some amazing things to come. It's just like they said, it's nothing on his end for building. It's just the loopholes that we have to go through, and because when we do this, we're gonna, like always, do it right. Yep, we're doing it right.
Legal hurdles.
Yep, and you just basically you have to go at the speed of all the attorneys and so forth. So it will be pretty amazing, and hopefully we can have a little better time frame come the conference time. But either way, just know there's some pretty awesome stuff going on in the background there.
Yep. Okay. Then two other things, really quickly, that Jason just alluded to as well a tiny bit. We are going to be opening up some very significant things for international markets for payment processing and so on, because one of the other challenges that affiliates in general have building teams overseas are, how do you collect payments, because there are significant issues with credit card processing or chargebacks and so on. That's one of the other things that Jason has been working on quite a bit over these past few days, and we have something coming out for that. And anybody, I think you'd be able to relate pretty quickly, like Ophelia can probably relate with this, that you probably have a lot of people who want in on it, but they either don't have credit cards or they want to use a bank voucher or just stuff like that, which in the US we don't even think about. So there's some development on that side, which is very exciting, and we're working that out right now, which will obviously blow up the numbers a little bit more of our both of our companies as a whole over here, the way that they are working right now. Let's say both of our companies, but Jason is the key between both the companies. I'm his hired help. I'm the goon who beats up the code. But in addition to that, there was a tremendous thing that we had announced about options domination, that we will be actually adding a whole new bonus system. We have actually started calculating the volumes on that since May 1st. There is a whole $1 million bonus thing that happens in options domination for the affiliate side that started on May 1st for our internal calculations with ranks and so on and so forth. We're going to make that live here, actually before the event, and we'll be able to honor some people at the event through that. And then we'll also be bringing out new affiliate ranks in DS Domination as well, not just tied to your affiliate activity, but the activity of your downline. So when you have an individual who might have a small downline, but they're doing really well on the e-commerce side, they will be rewarded at a slightly different level than somebody who has a large downline, but majority of the downline isn't really doing anything, because we believe that's something worth honoring as well. So that's one of the other things that's going to be coming out here. Obviously, we are working on all of this stuff in the background as much as we can, and making progress on all of the stuff. Right now, our immediate goal is to make the eBay side of the house completely watertight, make it extremely good, make it flow beautifully, and then we will deal with the Amazon side of things. Now, we will still make all the new trainings for Amazon and FBA and so on, and Genesis Monopoly and so on. We'll make all of those live right away. You'll have access to those. But there are some very unique things that we've been working on. One, software side, and also, like I mentioned once, the fully managed FBA, things like that. Just like the eBay side, these two sides, the FBA side, will also be fully automated and fully monetized, the exact same way that we're doing over here, with software that manages things for you, as well as the fully managed side that goes a step beyond that even, including customs and shipping and taxation, all of those things that added up, calculated, managed by somebody else. You guys don't even touch that. You should not be. I mean, what we don't want to see, as exciting as it is at some points, what we don't want you to end up doing is posting pictures of your garage is overflowing with boxes all the time, because that might look good for optics from one angle, but from another side, that means you're stuck with a ton of boxes that you have to deal with. So the way we are going about it is to try and set it up for you in a way that it can be run beautifully, seamlessly, that you are not involved in the process all the time, and you just basically get to reap the benefits. Again, Nathan is going to be working on some of this stuff with us. Dion is going to be working on certain aspects of it with us to make this fully managed thing really, truly fully managed. And it's just going to be awesome. All of the guys on here, all of the leaders on here, they've already supplied training and support and help to all of our members in DSD for quite a bit. And we're just excited to bring them on board and see them provide that to everybody in DSD, not just to their affiliate teams. Okay, so that's kind of where we are. I think we've gone significantly long period of time on this Hangout as well. I think we got to cover everything we wanted to cover. If there are more questions, we would like to go over more questions as well, if you guys have any. But some of us are on here that have, it's kind of early in the morning, and so we need to let them go. Let me check out. But Kev, if you want to go over some more questions, let's bid adieu to Nathan and Dion.
Yeah.
Bye, Nathan and Dion.
Yes.
See you guys.
I'm gonna go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? We gotta show some screenshots here. Just love.
We need to have
events. He's able to attend FBA product. Woo!
We need to have a contest. Where in the world is Nathan Dion?
Oh, they're gone.
Every time you talk to them, they're in a different country. It's ridiculous. It really. Yeah.
There are a lot of questions actually. Aaron's been he's been answering a lot of them in the Facebook, in the comments, but the ones that are more directed towards you guys, Hitesh and Kevin and Jason, are in the comments in the group chat. I think if you click on.
We're looking over those right now.
Okay, cool.
Is there still going to be drawings for the people who purchase the first 200 people? Yes, there is still a special bonus for the first 200 people. You guys don't have to worry about it. I addressed it at the last Hangout as well. There is really you don't have to worry about whether or not we're going to have the bonus. What happened is, because we went significantly past our estimates of how many people would buy on the first evening when we announced the event, because we announced and we were like, oh, the first 200 who get the VIP tickets, we literally a few hours later saw and there were over 400 people who had already bought the VIP tickets. So we actually took the first bonus we were going to release and we have made it available to everybody in VIP, and now we have a second bonus instead, which will be limited to the first 200. One of the other things that's going to happen is there's going to be a little drawing that's going to happen for VIP members only. So if you have bought a VIP ticket and you're at the event, we're gonna draw 3 people's names out, and for these 3 people, we're going to set up. We're going to basically give you hands-on FBA stuff, and we're going to go over some of the FBA items that are currently doing very well for our unique and wonderful FBA trainers, and we basically get you hands-on help for that. You might remember there was a contest similar to this run in the past, with the idea of choosing a person who won the contest. We're going to get them to the point where they would be able to run their own FBA product. We're going to set them up with an FBA product, and they would be successful with it. That's going to happen at a whole other scale in an actual way that would be visible to everyone. So These 3 people are going to be chosen. They're going to actually become the case studies at the same time for the fully managed FBA system. And we're very excited to do this because there are individuals that I really hope win this, because there are individuals that I know of that I'm like, I really want to make sure that this happens for them, because they've put a tremendous amount of time and effort into working with us, building DSD, and just been an overall force of goodness in this company. So that is an additional bonus fun thing that's going to happen there for our VIP members. So once again, that's another little thing for those of you who think lotteries are where everything is at. If all of the other logical reasons didn't make any sense, you might want to just pick up a ticket for the 1 in 3,000 shot at, or actually it'll be 1 in 1,000, because you have 3 drawings that will happen to that. So that's another little fun thing that's going to happen. Next question.
I've got a really good one, Hitesh. I don't know if this is even on our radar, to be honest. If we have a reward balance on certain sites that offer it, will the automated system add those rewards at checkout? Okay.
So first of all, initially when we make this live, the system is only going to work with Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk. Okay, for automated ordering, because we recognize that's roughly about 78 to 79% of the total volume of orders being placed. After that, I'm just going to name these because, quite honestly, I mean, half of you guys should already know about these. Some major companies are Walmart, Overstock, Wayfair. These are some of the other major sources that are used by DSD sellers. We already have automated ordering systems working out for these companies as well. We're going to release them one at a time over the coming few weeks after the event. So that's already there. Regarding the rewards balances, if you have rewards balance, or if you have gift cards and stuff that are available, that will already be applied. But when it comes to rewards balances for using a third-party company, those will not work within the system the same way. If you have a credit card, for example, that issues a reward to you when you make an online purchase, what you would do is you would put that credit card into our system, and then our system will bill that. You will receive the cash back on that, and then on top of that, our system will be able to issue you a 2% discount through the gift cards. So you can do some stacking there, but you can't do stacking in the with third-party companies and so on, which pay you later at a later date. So that's one of the differences, and we're going to go over that now. On top, we are negotiating these things out still. There is still a chance that we'll be able to provide even additional rewards and things like that here down the road. And it's really not that difficult to become one of those. That's why there are so many companies offering this. It's more that as a company, we have to choose if you're going to spend a lot of resources on that side, because we have a measurable thing happening. Again, we have these whole conversations happening internally. We have to see measurably what's going to have the greatest impact on our average user's business. If it's going to the reward side, then we will definitely work on bringing the reward side in as well. But by and large, as of right now, it's going to work with, if you have a card that issues rewards, it will work with that. If you have gift cards already in your Amazon account, for example, it's going to work with that. But if you have a third-party company that you go through and then you order through their link, we can't give you a cashback on that because they have affiliate systems. Now, there is a way around it that I'll be doing some tests on, and if that works, then you'll be able to stack those on top of it. But it's not going to be in the automated ordering then. There'll be a step you'll have to do along the way, and then it'll work. So I'll explain what that is here in a little bit. In fact, I'm actually just going through it in my head right now, and I know of a way that would probably work, which will involve cookie dropping and going through your link first to the third-party company you want to use, let's say eBay or whatever. We use the third-party link first, drop the cookie in there, then your order gets placed automatically with a delay of about 15 minutes, and we might be able to work all of that out in there. But again, I need to test all of these things out before I can promise you that that's how it's going to work. Okay, there's another question here, which I think is a very interesting question. Do you think that this may lead to very high saturation or competition to sell on eBay, as this would allow people to post a lot more listings? No, it won't allow people to post a lot more listings, because you can still only post as many listings as much as your eBay account allows. And already the users in DSD try to maximize the number of listings they're posting. What this will maximize is it will allow you to scale your businesses up a lot faster. So you'll be able to branch out to other platforms to sell on. And that is precisely why in Unleash now we have another platform that you can really focus on. You can start scaling that up. You can basically replicate your entire eBay listing system over to the other platform. You can start selling there as well. The whole idea is that the more time you save and the more automation you have, the more you can focus on growth. And you are thinking of this very much in a zero-sum game, and it's not a zero-sum game. It's a constantly growing economic pie. So the bigger the whole space gets, the bigger the net revenues being generated are, the more people will continue buying and selling. And plus, I mean, when we're talking about market caps, like I said, I'm very familiar with the market caps in these spaces and what we can do there. Our whole idea is we want to make sure that DSD members are doing better than everybody else. And if you are doing better than everybody else, through your software, through the automation, through the best training, and so on, you just will constantly win. That's what's going to happen. DSD members will keep just doing better and better. It might actually drive out some of the other people who are on there, but I don't foresee it playing out the way that you might assume right now. This was the same question we were asked since day one of DSD. It's been asked, I think, almost every webinar. This question has been asked. Won't this cause too much saturation? Well, it hasn't. And it can't. Like I said, it's a constantly growing pie. It's not a fixed size. So there is that. Okay, so we had a question, what is supremacy? You will find out what exactly supremacy is when we release like a specific video that walks through it. In general, what supremacy does is if you're selling on eBay, at this moment in time, when you make a sale on eBay, it goes and grabs that buyer from eBay and sends them another product that they might be interested in, a related product to the product that they just bought that they might be interested in, and that basically helps boost your net sales. Now, the supremacy users right now in DSD generate about 1.7 to 1.8 times more sales than non-supremacy because of this follow-up. We all know, marketers have always known that follow-up is the key. So that part is already done by supremacy right now. Supremacy going forward is going to, in addition to this, also manage automated ordering of your items at the same time it sends a message. So instead of just sending a message saying, hey, you should also check out this other product, it actually will send a message saying, hey, we've already shipped your item, and you might want to check out this other item, which, as you know, also gets you high marks from the customer because they just place the order and you know, like half an hour later, their item has already been ordered, it's already on its way. That really reflects very well on you from eBay as well, on the eBay side of things. And then when we replicate this into the Amazon side, you can imagine why that would be really great. So that's what supremacy does overall. In my opinion, it's well worth the cost. The only people I found to ever be able to replicate that usually have a lot of these kind of things happen. And they usually have a team of people that they have hired who do the manual follow-up or do the ordering for them. So this is that's what supremacy does. But again, we'll have a video that will walk through this in a more detailed and a more hypey way because that's apparently what people want, and then you can all buy supremacy. Okay, next question, Kevin. Is there another question? What about listing integration? Listing integration was, like I said, was designed to be kind of a free tool to help out because this was becoming a problem. Managing your price points and stock, it kind of became a problem. At one point in time, it was assumed that this would not ever be a problem, but now it became a problem. So we built that to give like a temporary reprieve until we had a permanent solution. And now that the new supremacy, the new Pro and Elite, they have the permanent solution that will manage that for you all the time. So listing integration is basically entirely replaced by that. Kev, questions that I missed?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the clock, and we're 2 hours in, so I'll grab a couple more. But
yeah, I don't think there are a whole lot of questions left. I think we've actually addressed a majority of the questions already.
Yeah, you did. You did. And I'm fielding the ones I can that are on Facebook that I can, and so far so good.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah. This is why we always need you.
Oh, one important announcement. So last time we talked about this new community-centered approach that we have as DSD as a whole. And if you have ideas, training suggestions, stuff that you want to see happen, or stuff that you believe you can contribute to, you should get in touch with us. Now, obviously, if all of you start writing us directly, it's not going to work out so well because you can imagine it's hard for us to get to everyone. So we have kind of appointed Aaron as the guy to go to. If you have those things, he's kind of our talent filter, and you can post things to him. You can let him know what you have, what's going on, and after the filtration process, if you make it through his very, very rigid, very difficult to pass process, then then he'll basically let us know, and he'll be like, hey, these people have some great things. Why don't we bring them in here, and then we'll work with you on that.
Yeah, Aaron kind of keeps us on an even keel, guys. So keeps us going.
All right, I think I don't see any more questions in here that we haven't addressed already. All in all, everybody's homework is basically to act really excited for another couple of weeks. Get your tickets if you haven't yet. If you can attend the event, do it in the event. I promise it's going to be worth your time. More so than that, if you plan on upgrading anyway, it's a good time to get whatever products you want to get, because you will be grandfathered into the new versions. If you are tight on money and don't feel like this is a sales pitch, we don't want you to spend the money. It's not a necessity right now. Just wait. We'll release all the stuff, and you will see for yourself why it's worth getting it, and then we can go from there. All right, guys. If everybody just wants to get a few words in, and then we'll turn this off so people can get some rest and actually focus on the business instead of listening to us talk.
Hey guys, so everybody, getting to the event is going to be, I think, the key for people getting started and wanting to see all the cool things going on. There's this great analogy that I think, when we got started in DSD, it could be compared to, like, you hear the old story of, I had to walk to school uphill in the snow, and now at DSD 2.0, it's almost like you're getting teleported to school. If you were to kind of use an analogy there. So, I mean, this is night and day. I mean, this is really going to blow the socks off of people, because you're actually going to make money doing this without, you're making money either way, but you're making money faster and quicker without having to recruit. And that's really the key to a lot of this. The reason why we're in the business is because it's just so catering to anybody. You don't have to be an all-star network marketer that has a huge list. I mean, you're just the average Joe like us. They can go out there and make money. And so we're excited. A lot of cool stuff. And gosh, I'm just blown away at all the stuff I saw tonight.
Hey, yeah, I'd like to echo that too, with a little bit different angle on it. I'm from the affiliate side, and I've done some work on the product side as well. But my whole perspective is, if we don't have a good product here, then I, as an affiliate, and others as affiliates, we don't have anything. Because if we can't put out a good product, then I, as an affiliate, not hiding anything, full transparency, what do I have to sell? I'm going to sell you something, and if it doesn't work, then eventually you're going to be gone. And that's no secret that us affiliates, we get paid based on people buying and continuing to purchase product on a residual basis. And for as well as I know everyone else on this panel, and probably a big percentage of the affiliates, we rely on residual income. That's our income. If we don't have the residual income because the product is no good, we've got nothing. So that is our focus as a community and as a leadership team. We got to have a good product. We got to have a continuously good cutting-edge product, because if we as affiliates don't have something good, I'm going to keep hammering this home. If we don't have a good product, we don't have anything, our income is going to decrease. So, that's what I essentially bring to the table. I am a product guy, period. Because of, if you don't have a good product, you got nothing. And I could say that forever and ever and ever and ever. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And that is us as a leadership team and a whole community-based perspective here. That's what we're looking for, to keep this cutting edge. And for the people out there that are affiliates and our future affiliates, that's where our focus is. So hopefully that helps everyone.
Could not agree more.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I think I'd agree more if you tried.
Not even if I tried. That was pretty good, Aaron.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Atesh. Let's hear your feedback on that particular topic. Please.
I am just completely quiet. I think that was beautiful. I'm learning to control myself, so I just think it was great, and I'm not going to say anything. I can just say that I agree with you more than Kenya did. So
perfect, awesome.
Your throat is clear, Matt. You can talk.
All right. Well, hey guys, definitely appreciate it again. But I did have someone message me, and he was just joking. But when I said I made a sale, he said, "No, you didn't." He messaged me on Facebook. So I just want to, for the record, say that during the webinar, I'm up to 7 sales now. So maybe that's just either true or a big expansion of my lie, right? But it's pretty true. So up to 7 sales now. So if you need your
simple solution, just take a screenshot and put it in Skype to Kevin, and we'll just show it on the screen right now.
Oh, you want a screenshot? All right, hold up. Well, I can just share my screen, right?
Yep.
Yeah, just click on screen share. That's it.
All right, so let me email and let me screenshot. All right, hold up 1 second here.
Doesn't get any better than this, huh?
It can. There are some very specific ways I can think that would make it even better.
Could have been 14 sales, for instance.
Yeah.
You're putting me to the test now, Kevin. That's I mean I've had 2 hour periods with 14 sales. That's not too hard. All right, come on, computer. I'm still getting used to this whole 2 monitor thing and trying to screenshot on one when you're on the other. Yeah, always fun.
We are getting skeptical. It's taking you too long. Hurry up.
This is why I need the automation, right? What time did we start? We started at 8 o'clock. All right, so here we go. 8 o'clock, and
I hear lots of clicking, but I don't see anything, so I'm kind of.
You're getting skeptical too, Gavin. All right, so let's share the screen here. Let's see here. Share screen and full screen 1. All right, so here you guys go. Can you see it? That's it. Amazon they sit in pending for a little bit, so that's 8:36. That's 8 o'clock. Here's 9:52. There's 6 of them there, and there are. Oh, we got another one. Here's 2 more pending, so that's 8.
Hey Kevin, I can vouch for Matt because I sat in Facebook chat with him once, and he gets ching after ching after ching.
Yeah, I know. I just like giving him a little trouble.
Yeah, so my boss actually joined DS, Kevin, because he my phone sits on my desk, and one day was like, Matt, why does your phone make that cha-ching noise? Or that, no, he called it a cash register sound all the time. He said, why do your phone make this cash register sound all the time? And I said, oh, that's eBay sales.
That's me making more money than you're paying me right now. So.
Yeah, kind of. So so now he's a drop shipper too. Yep. And he joined options, so not bad.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I think we're down to banter and just having fun. So I think we can wrap things up and get to the event. It's my message. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, everybody needs to the event. So good night. Los latinos también vayan al evento. Hay información en español. What I said is Latinos go to the event. There is information in Spanish as well, so they can't miss it.
Awesome.
Hi.
Did you say only? I'm sorry. Did you just say that only females should go?
No.
Or you said Latinos? Okay. That's better.
I said there's information in the Spanish as well.
It sounded wrong. Okay, that's fine. All right. Okay, everybody, have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
See you there.
All right, see you guys later.
See ya.
Girl power, Ophi.
Yeah, I know, right?